So I have a lot of books on my TBR, but let's go through a few of them. Hey folks, it's Abby, and today I'm going to be going through 10 books on my TBR. So I have my TBR at the moment, as of filming, set up as hardback books, which there aren't too many of them, non-fantasy or science fiction books, YA SFF, and adult SFF. That's how I have them set up. This is just kind of how it worked out, and it was handy to have it kind of displayed in this way. I'm moving. I don't know if I've moved yet or not. I'm pre-filming this. So I don't know how I have it set up in the new place, but that's how I have it set up here. The reason I'm mentioning that is because that is how I'm going to go through the 10 books on my TBR. So I have 2 books that are non-SFF, and then 8 books that are, I think 99.9% of them are fantasy. Yeah. And 4 of them are YA and 4 of them are adult. So I'm going to go with the non-fantasy books first, then the YA, and then the adult. First of all, we have The Essex Serpent by Sarah Perry. This is a historical fiction set in 1893, and it's a young woman who hears about like this serpent appearing, and she then meets a man when she kind of goes on the hunt for this serpent, and I think it's a romance between them after she's been widowed. I can't lie, I picked it up for the cover. And then the other non-fantasy book is another historical fiction, and that is Cilka's Journey by Heather Morris. This is the companion novel to The Tattooist of Auschwitz, and this is a fictionalization of a true story about a young girl trying to survive Nazi Germany. I haven't read this because it's going to break my heart. Now, on to some slightly more fun books. So this is I said it's YA, it's middle grade and YA. There's only one middle grade book here, so I'll go through that one first. And that is Amari and the Night Brothers by B.B. Alston. This is a school for magic. This young girl, Amari, her brother has been taken. His name is Quentin. He's gone missing, and no one is talking about it. And she decides that she wants to find him, and in this process she kind of ends up at a magical school, the Magical Bureau of Supernatural Affairs. This is supposed to be the new Magic School series that we hopefully will all love, so fingers crossed, and I couldn't resist picking it up with those gorgeous sprayed edges. Next up is another book with gorgeous sprayed edges, but this time it's YA, and that is The Gilded Ones by Namina Forna. Look at those, they're so pretty. So this one is a West African inspired novel where people are tested for their blood type. If it's normal, so red, then it's all fine, but if it's golden, you're an outcast. You're considered to be demons and you're expelled from society. But a bunch of these girls decide to fight back. That's all I know. The synopsis is pretty limited, and I'm perfectly happy to leave it at that, and I'm really excited to delve into this one. I've wanted to read this since I heard about it being released. I had heard about it in some like upcoming new releases videos, and straight away this was on my radar, so I'm really excited to read this one. Then we have one that basically needs no introduction, and that is The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. This is a book following a young girl named Blue, and she isn't magical, supernatural, tarot-y when all of her family is, but her family has told her that when she kisses her true love, he'll die. She then interacts with 4 boys from the posh private school in her area. This is a massively hyped book on BookTube, on the Booktonet in general, so I want to get to this to see if I'll enjoy it too. And then the last YA book on this list is The Strange Case of the Alchemist's Daughter by Theodora Goss. This book adapts a lot of well-known classics and kind of plays around with them, changes the characters into being female, and follows on from there. So we follow Mary Jekyll in this book. Her father's former friend Edward Hyde is present, and there's also Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson, Justine Frankenstein, Catherine Moreau. These are all present in here, and I think this should be so much fun. So this was gifted to me by Carrie from Caring for Books. She knows my reading taste really well, so I'm very excited to pick this one up. And then we have the adult fantasy books. Let's start with the ones that were gifted to me. Sticking with Carrie, because she buys me a ridiculous number of books, and that is Foundation by Mercedes Lackey. This is where someone is like a chosen one, and they're chosen to be trained as a herald who deliver messages, gather information for the king, and then he's thrust into like having to actually do adventures and stuff. I had never heard of this, nor Mercedes Lackey, but Carrie really likes her. We tend to enjoy the same kind of high fantasy stories, so fingers crossed that I will really enjoy this. Carrie already likes it. Then another gifted book is Sorcerer to the Crown by Zen Cho. This was gifted to me by my uncle who runs On This Gay Day on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, which is a really great resource for events that have happened every single day of the year related to LGBTQ+ history. So I really do recommend checking him out. And this is another fantastical book, surprise surprise. It is set in Regency London, and Zacharias Wyeth is England's first African sorcerer royal, and he ends up looking after an ambitious orphan named Prunella. This should be a lot of fun. I've heard amazing things about Zen Cho, especially Blackwater Sister I keep hearing about and I really want to pick up, but I own this one, so this one first. This is Red Queen by Christina Henry. So my best friend Georgia gifted me this years ago now. She gifted me Alice, which is the first book, and this together, and I've read Alice but I've not managed to get around to Red Queen. And I really want to, because I know that some people didn't like Alice, but I quite enjoyed it, and I've liked another book that I've read from Christina Henry, Lost Boys, so I really want to pick this up and see if I can make it 3 for 3. And then my final book in my 10 on my TBR is 84K by Claire North. So this is a book where people's lives have a monetary value. If you want to kill them, you simply have to pay the price. And our main character doesn't care about this, Theo Miller. He works in that industry, he's not bothered, it's just a job, he doesn't care what people do. But then his ex-lover is killed, and suddenly it becomes a lot more personal. Those are the 10 books that are on my TBR. I am really excited for all of these ones. I think these could all be, like, I was gonna say they could all be 5 stars. These are gonna be, at the worst, as long as they're not atrocious, at the worst 3 stars. But I'm hoping every single one of these books is a 4 or a 5-star read. I think The Raven Boys is probably the riskiest one, just because that is the most hyped and the least of like what I would pick up for myself. I just picked it up because everyone talks about it and I'd like to know. These are the 10 books on my TBR that I thought I would mention. That went fantastically. Let me know down below in the comments if you've read any of them. If you have, did you enjoy them? Did you not? And let me know which ones I should put on my TBR to actually read within a month first. If you did enjoy the video, please do hit like, and if you want to see some more from me, then hit subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!